All right, so this video will be Project Farmhouse day 53, 54, and 55. The guys were working in the bathrooms and upstairs. I pulled this window out. I got the sashes sitting here. So the back side of these sashes, the wood is all peeling away, and we're gonna paint the outside of these windows and clean them up really good. And we're gonna paint the inside of the windows. This sash, I'm gonna have to epoxy it. It's clearly got some water infiltration. The wood's really soft right here. So I'm gonna see if I can't repair this sash, just because I really don't wanna replace these wood windows. But we'll use some trisodium phosphate. We'll clean these up. We'll get them, sanded down. This is the inside, and we'll paint that. So the plan is to get these set. So this window, if I can't repair this one, I can get an Anderson narrow line conversion kit that snaps right in. But in the meantime, I just mocked up some wood to, I just want to keep animals out, right? Birds. I want to make sure nothing tries to fly in here. And I did the same thing on this side. And then I also made some more boards up for these size windows, but it was getting really dark in here when I covered up that window. So I was like, let's just do the two side windows. So this one's actually in good condition on the outside. It's just, look how dirty it is. He had air conditioners in the windows, so I'm sure those air conditioners were not airtight, and he probably taped this. But anyway, we'll scrub this with some, bleach, trisodium phosphate, and we'll sand them down. And then the outside has to be finished too. So do you see how the wood is just faded? And here, look how bad it is here. It's all it's not rotted away, but we're gonna sand that down, even if I have to skim coat it with a little bit of epoxy and make it smooth. And we're gonna repaint it, because there's nothing wrong with the windows themselves. The windows are fine. But I did the same thing over here. I just boarded up this window temporarily. So we're gonna see what we can do to fix these windows, because otherwise it's $10,000 for wood windows, or my other option would be $5,000 or $6,000 for final replacement windows. I'd rather keep the wood windows. And then the guys started finishing spackling this, and then I just filled this in right now with the adhesive, construction adhesive that they recommend for the Go board. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to red guard up top, because this is regular drywall right here and right here. So I will use red guard right here. And I'm probably going to red guard the inside of this too, just because I had a very difficult time trying to get the adhesive in here. And I kind of ended up scraping more out than probably necessary, so there might be some gaps in there. But what I will actually put is I will put some mesh fiber in around the corners, and I'll red guard it in to make sure this is watertight. But this is ready for tile. The guys will put some mortar on the floor. They'll use some alkali mesh tape here, and they'll just put just a skim coat of mortar just to fill these gaps on the 1/4-inch concrete board. And then I do have the paint for this room, so you can see they started the spackle. So hopefully they can paint this room before we start to do the tile work. And then we can always come in and touch up again. But this is looking really good. Then they started touching up some spackle here on the walls. Let me show you the downstairs bathroom. We also got all the tile up. all the tile has been removed, except for maybe the kick plates. But here, let me show you the bathroom. So again, we got the concrete board down, and I ran out of the construction adhesive, but I'm gonna finish this construction adhesive off. So I need to put it all around the inside, and then I got to put the go board down on the floor. So, but I'll do the same thing here. I'll probably red guard up there. This is actually go board, that's go board, but that's a piece of drywall. But I'll red guard it just to be sure. But we started spackling in here. And again, we're getting this room done, but we got all the concrete board down. It's looking good. I'll probably come back tomorrow to finish that off. But yeah, they'll paint the ceiling. Again, I ordered paint for this room as well. So it's very cool having this tile up. I'm loving having the tile ripped up. It actually popped up pretty good. It took a couple of days to do it. But the only place is they tiled the kick plate. So the kick plate on the cabinets is going to have to go. So we'll just have to, if we keep these cabinets, we'll have to build a new kick plate, put all the tiles out. And then now we can patch where the door is. It's hard to see, but let me just move this back. So this subfloor is all gotta go. So we'll probably have to cut it back here. And there's 2 pieces of 3/4 inch subfloor. So we'll fix that when we repair the door. We're probably gonna have to get under the sill plate at least 4 to 6 inches with the way it was rotted out underneath in the basement. I showed you that in previous videos, how bad it was. But we do have this door, and I have to get the new front door. And then the other thing I did was all of these outlets were broken. None of them were working. We figured out why. So this wire right here goes back to the electric panel. And then this wire right here feeds all those other panels. And it took us a good half an hour to figure it out, but this one neutral wire is broken. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to run a new wire here. So we're gonna have to, this actually runs up because this was a modular home. All the wires ran up through the crawl space, and then they come down in one area. They come down right here, right by the Bilco door, on the other side of the Bilco door in this wall. All the wires come down in one spot, and then they go down in the basement over to the service panel. And then this side of the house, same thing. All the wires are running in the crawl space, and then they come down. And the reason why they do that is they didn't want to have a ton of wires all throughout the first floor, you know, because they need to set the house on the foundation. So they pick 2 main locations, and they run these package of wires all in one spot. So the good news is it's easy for me in the basement to run a wire across the ceiling, and then I'll run it back up. And then what we'll do is we'll put this wire in a junction box, we'll shove it back in the wall, and then we'll use the new wire to feed the electric, and then we'll feed it to this. We'll put a new GFI in right here. Actually, this is the new one. And then this will get disconnected inside the service panel, and we'll mark it. You know, I actually probably will just completely pull it from the service panel and mark it as a dead wire. But the good news is we figured it out. The neutral wire was bad. And took us a little bit of playing around to figure it out. But and then what we did, we actually connected, this is a old extension cord that I had. So we connected this to this wire, which feeds this outlet and this outlet. And then we plugged this extension cord. We ran another extension cord over to there and we plugged it in. And when we plugged it in, that outlet worked and that outlet worked. So that confirmed that this wire was bad. Because the reading that we got off of my testing tool said it was this light and this light that lit up. And right there, it says open neutral. It says open neutral. So that light and that light was lit up, which means the neutral was bad. So the good news is it's a very easy fix for me. It shouldn't be very hard. It shouldn't be hard at all to snake a wire up into there from the basement. So yeah, there's another update for Project Farmhouse. The guys were here for 3 days. This is day 53, 54, and 55. Let me know what you think.